And welcome to another edition of the ETBU Sportsnet Coaches Show. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein, and today we're going to be talking with a little bit of women's soccer. Now, for those of you that probably don't know, Eric Solberg, the head women's soccer coach, has recently accepted another coaching position. We wish him the best of luck there. In the meantime, though, someone has to fill the void of being the head coach, and, well, the search didn't take too long. They actually decided to promote the newly assistant head coach, or former assistant, Kristin Fellows, of course. There is a little bit of a name change there, but we'll get into that in just a moment. So, Coach Kristin Cox now, I believe, is the name. So, Coach Cox, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
No, definitely. So, Coach, obviously, you've been the assistant coach for the women's soccer team the last couple of years, and now you're being promoted to the head coach. So, just kind of talk about the feelings when you found out, and just the feelings of how excited are you for the opportunity.
Yeah, so I've been the assistant here under Eric for the last 3 years and have thoroughly enjoyed my time learning under him and building our culture. And when I found out he was leaving, it was a little bittersweet because I was sad to not be working for him anymore because he was a great role model to me as a coach. But I was also excited for the opportunity that I would potentially be the head coach. And then after the interview process, they picked me as the head coach, and I couldn't be more excited to be here at a Christ-like university helping lead this program even farther in the future than we've already made the last few years.
Absolutely, Coach. So you have a little bit of background playing soccer as well. So just kind of talk about your background, how you came to ETBU, and all that.
Yeah, I grew up playing soccer since I was about 3 years old. Played all through club soccer on a traveling team, traveling 5 hours every weekend to play games. And then I decided to play in college at Lubbock Christian University. And I spent 4 years there, a great career, several minutes played, every position from forward to outside back to center back, and that was a blast. And I also had a couple opportunities to play with Athletes in Action, playing on a competitive traveling team throughout Canada, and then again with different players, actually under Coach Solberg in France, getting to play some semi-pro and pro teams in France. So that was a lot of fun too.
Definitely, Coach. Now that you're the head coach of the team, obviously you're going to have to deal with the recruiting, but also to, get your team ready for next season. So what is your vision exactly for how you want the program to continue on, especially after the successful seasons being under as an assistant?
Yeah, my vision for the teams is just to keep excelling every year. I really want to work on our technical soccer playing and improving technically. So then we can improve more and hopefully remain a top 4 team in our conference, or eventually the top team in our conference. I don't think there's any goals that are too high. My favorite verse is Mark 9:23. All things are possible to him who believes. And so I just want to instill that culture into our players and let them know that there are no limits to what we can do and that all things are possible to him who believes.
Definitely, Coach. So, obviously, I'm sure you had yourself an enjoyable Christmas break, but we kind of have a little some business to discuss. So, a while back in December, we had Chad Cox, the new men's soccer coach, who was also an assistant, recently promoted. And one of the things that was discussed about the fact was that he was going to get married soon. Now,
Yes.
We didn't necessarily name the bride per se, but apparently you also got married. Now, whether that's a coincidence or not, so, all right, spoiler alert, this is the bride right here. So, just kind of talk about how, awesome it is for you and Chad to be running both programs as, well, husband and wife, and now, of course, the head coach of your teams.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I've heard of husband and wives over one program, but I haven't heard of a husband and wife head coach men and head coach women's program. And so we're super excited, our first year both being head coaches at a university. And so we're excited to see where that'll go, how we can feed off each other, but also how we can be separate and keep our programs separate and lead each other off the field in a way to lead both of our programs to success. So it'll be fun and interesting to see how this first year goes.
Well, there you have it, folks. The Coxes are now running the soccer program. So, Coach Cox, thanks for joining us once again. We hope to see more of you over the next coming year or so. And that'll just about conclude this interview. Stick around. We will have more on this YouTube channel in just a moment.